It all started with the first delay of the new official Ben 10 comic. Originally, its release was scheduled for February of this year, but that date never came. The strangest thing wasn't the delay, but that there was no promotional art, no previews, and no official statement of any kind. That's when the big question started. What's really going on with the Ben 10 comic? Duncan Rowley stepped up and addressed the situation with a message on January 22. Apparently, there were some issues with the printing and shipping line that delayed the release. The artwork is finished and looks fantastic for the first 2 books. I'm trying to get a clear answer about the delivery and distribution dates. For now, April seems to be the release date, but I'll update you as I get more information. Thank you all for your patience and enthusiasm. Unfortunately, Duncan Rowley's speculation was wrong. The comic isn't coming out in April. From all this, we can take away one good thing and one bad thing. The good thing is that it's already confirmed that the first official Ben 10 comics are completely finished. The art for the first 2 issues exists, it's finished, and according to Duncan Rowley, it looks fantastic. The bad thing is that the project seems to be having printing and shipping problems, as well as editorial decisions that are holding up the release. In short, the comic is ready, but it's not up to the creators for it to reach our hands. This is where the official documents come in, which ended up confirming that April was ruled out. You might be wondering, what are these requests? Actually, they're official lists that publishers send to comic book stores. Here, comics that will be released are announced 2 or 3 months in advance, including covers, prices, codes, and dates. If a comic doesn't appear here, it simply can't be released that month. Here we have to take into account another official response from Joe Casey, another person in charge of the project, who replied to a fan named Evan. Has the Ben 10 comic been delayed? When it was announced, it was said that it would be released in February 2026, but Dynamite has published its solicitations for February and March and still hasn't mentioned Ben 10. Sorry for the confusion. The new Ben 10 comic was originally intended to be released in February, but events conspired to derail those plans, which sometimes happens in the crazy world of publishing. As far as I know, the book will officially be released in May. Joe Casey's message not only confirms the delay, it also makes it clear that February was a real date, that the project was already underway, and that the problem was external. By saying, "as far as I know," he notes the final decision remains with the publishers. Now, amid all this silence and the delays, there is some good news. We've been given a new estimated date, which is May. This isn't a definite promise, but it's the clearest window we've been given so far for the release of the new Ben 10 comic. After all this, a lot of things came to my mind about how there still isn't any promotion for the comic. How is it that there's still no promotional art or an image or something that would give us a bit of hope and not just a meme? I decided to ask Duncan Rowley this personally on X. As a fan and content creator of Ben 10, I wanted to respectfully ask you about the comic, which was delayed from February to April and is now scheduled for May. Is there any promotional art that can be shared? Greetings from L. We needed to hear a response from one of the biggest and most official voices of Ben 10. In fact, I shared this with you in the channel community so that it would have a bit more relevance with your help. After a couple of minutes, Duncan Rowley responded to us. His answer was short, direct, and very revealing. That depends on the editors at Dynamite Comics. This confirms that the problem wasn't creative and that all the delays are due to editorial decisions. Dynamite Comics is responsible for all of this. What happened from February to April to May makes me think that Dynamite Comics doesn't have faith in this project, giving priority to other kinds of comics and underestimating what could be one of their best comics, like Ben 10. In this world of printed comics and digital versions, it's understandable that they have some protocols not to release anything, not even concept art, until almost everything is ready for sale, so there's not much that can be added. I've checked Dynamite's profile on X, and they usually don't respond to any kind of tweets. That doesn't mean they're not paying attention to the things we actually want. So, on my part, as a mini campaign for the new Ben 10 comic, I'll write a new tweet mentioning Dynamite Comics, to see if they can show us a teaser or some promotional art. I'll put the tweet in the comments, so with your help, it can reach Dynamite Comics' top authorities. A Ben 10 game has been officially announced. Official news from Mave of Action and D20 Culture. Both companies have agreed to develop the new Ben 10 game, which for now is mentioned to be a role-playing game. The game is currently in development. The concerning part about all this is that D20 Culture announced that not all games will be adapted as role-playing and board games. Some games will be released as card games. D20 Culture is a Brazilian game company specialized in this type of games, which I personally have never played. After doing some research, I realized that the last game they released was the Justice League Unlimited role-playing game. Looking at all this, I realized that this could be how the new Ben 10 game will be. Honestly, that's not a bad thing. Personally, I've never played them, so I couldn't give you an honest opinion about what it's like to play this kind of game. But recently, coming from a fan-made game like Ben 10 Galvan, it makes me really sad to know that we're going to have an official Ben 10 game, and will it be like this? I wouldn't like to think that the creators from Man of Action made a mistake by choosing a role-playing game instead of an action game, because honestly, I'm basing this on my personal opinion about this kind of game. But if you, as consumers of the Ben 10 product, had to choose between a Ben 10 role-playing game and a Ben 10 action game, which one would you pick? To buy it? Or ask your parents to buy it for you, or watch someone else playing it, because even just watching a gameplay of this isn't right. I need you to vote honestly in the comments. Which game would you prefer so that the higher ups at Mave of Action can see what we really want before it's over? I want to be completely transparent with you. When the new Ben 10 comic comes out, my plan is to buy it firsthand, read it completely, and bring an analysis, facts, and exclusive content here to the channel as soon as possible. The price of the comic is not available yet, but looking at the prices of Neo and Shivan, it will be between about $15 and $35 approximately. So if any of you have the possibility to do it voluntarily through PayPal or IRTM, this is not mandatory. But every bit of support helps the channel bring you Ben 10 faster and with better quality. By becoming a member, you can also contribute to the comic. Like these amazing people with whom I say goodbye, remember that I am Frioten Mill, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.